Welcome back to Dirt 5. Today we begin the final chapter of the story. This is the Red Zone, and we begin with the marble run at Ponti Di Vara Reverse, Italy for an Ultracross event. Soldierboy is up first, and he is driving the Pro Drive Hunter of the X-Cross raid class. Now this is a new car for us. It's not one we've tried before, but in keeping with trying out new cars where possible, I thought it was time to give a new one a go. The track itself we've done quite a few times. We know the track. In fact, I think we're at the point of the story now, if there was anything new track-wise, it would definitely be an interesting one because I think we've done most of the combinations, if not all. But decent start off the line. This car has pretty good acceleration. Getting a bit caught up to the cars ahead of us as we come out the first corner into 7th place. A decent start off the line. Let's try and hold this position now. Going through the narrow tunnel. This is where you've got to be careful with your speed. I did find I was kind of taking too much speed sometimes around there and trying to feather the throttle a little bit more. Can we take 6th here on this corner? We're kind of boxed in at this point. Can't really make any headway. Round the outside, we may just take 6th place. We have indeed. Up the inside here, taking 5th and 4th. Can we keep it round the outside for the next corner? Just about losing out on the exit. But the inside for the next zone, that will get us into 4th place comfortably. And this time we can hold on to it on the exit. Decent start to the lap so far. And in keeping with the car itself, I will say, it is pretty quick. It is very good on brakes. It's very good handling. The other car ahead of us here, though, is becoming a little bit increasingly difficult to catch. I'm not too sure what car they're in. Straight away, I was thinking, okay, this isn't going to be easy. This car has some pace. And now we need to try and play catch-up, which means every corner has to be spot on. And that corner pretty much was exit, very close to the barrier on exit there, but very lucky to get away with it more than anything else. Didn't catch the barrier to slow us down. Probably didn't need to brake there, but felt I had to. I was going to carry too much speed in otherwise. We are slowly catching this car ahead. We have actually caught him up. And it now becomes apparent he is in the same car as we are. But that is why he was so quick. So that tells me this car is probably really good. Beginning of the second lap, we are in the lead. And now we just need to hold on to it. Knowing the car behind us is in the same car as us, it's down to pure driver skill at this point. Or me not making any mistakes and they are making loads. Hopefully. That would be helpful, wouldn't it, at this point? But first place now, over the bridge we go. Right-hander coming up next. Maybe a little bit slow through there, we're under 50 miles an hour as we take the corner. I think it's probably a little bit slow, but we're trying to be clean as well as fast. So I'd rather go for the clean aspect for the second lap as much as possible. Our lead to the car behind is not much. Going a little bit too tight for that corner. As you can see, the exit was a bit compromised because of that. Underneath the bridge now, and with the left-hander, braking nicely, trying to drift the rear of the car around, and followed by the quick right-hander here. And again, just trying to drift the car as much as possible, get to turn as quickly as possible, get back on the power. Slight left-hander followed by a proper left-hander. And this is going to be where it's going to be becoming really important. We need to be hitting every corner as well as we can do to keep this gap alive. There is now a gap developing to the car behind, and we need to keep it as much as possible. Now this is where he braked last time because I felt it was taking too much speed. It was a bit of an iffy one still. Maybe braking was excessive from the first lap. That time we didn't, but again, have to be a little bit careful. Right-hander here, taking it nice. We're going to race to the line, and that's going to begin the start of the last and final lap. Let's have a look at the gap to the car behind. We're about 2.4 seconds ahead to second place. So that's within the parameters, I think, of as long as we're clean and tidy, it's ours, it's in the bag. If we make a mistake, that still might be enough time to get away with it, but I'd rather not risk it if we can help it. It's a decent gap to have. If you're thinking of trying out this car, my suggestion is do. I think it's a really nice car, it handles really well, it's pretty quick. It does hold its own. And acceleration and braking are both really strong. Definitely a car I would look to use again in future episodes, I'm pretty sure, once this makeup car comes back up. I think this car does work very, very well. Not sure about how well it'll do on ice, but this kind of track surface, it does do well. As we're going to come towards the middle part of the final lap, the right-hander here, taking it nicely. This gap behind us, I think it stayed about level. I don't think it's changing very much, so it means we're doing okay. We are keeping it as clean as possible. Left-handed out, taking it nicely. Next is the right-hander, and again drifting the car around. There was the first mistake. We caught the barrier, on the inside. Just turns in a bit too early there. That will compromise our speed. But again, the gap is okay. I think this gap we had at the start of this final lap has definitely held good for us. Right-hander here. I'm going to turn in twice. Got that wrong again, but it's a race for the line. The gap is big enough. We're going to take this first race of the episode, and it's going to be a first place for us. I'm pretty happy, especially with a new car. I'm interested to the gap behind, though. So it was about 2 seconds. So I think he brought the gap back a little bit, but we just held on at the end with 2 second lead. I think that's a pretty good race and a very good start to the episode, as I say. Pretty happy with our performance, to be honest. It's always nice in a new car to do well. It's worse when you take a new car and it goes really, really badly, as we've done previously. But I think this was a very good choice. As the rewards come in, 3 stamps as well. We'll take that all the way. We're getting very close to that max level of 50 as well, which is kind of the aim at this point. So next up, I know you all come really to watch Wolverine race, and if you are enjoying his racing, don't forget to subscribe, and a like on the episodes does help as well. I know that's what you all look for. So he is up next. It's Apollo's Landing at Kalabaka Town, Greece, for a rally raid. Wolverine is in the Volkswagen ID Buggy of the Super Light class. This is a car we've both used a little bit previously. He decided to risk it. He liked the look of it. I think that's more what he was going for than anything else. But because he likes the look of it, that's his decision. It's not a bad looking car. I think I found this car previously to be probably not as quick as others. And I think that's the downside. But there he is. Off the line very nicely. Up to 10th place. It was a bit deep for the first corner. Holds on. Still in 11th now. So he did lose a position on the corner. Not a bad start. Especially on a rally raid where it's a percentage race anyway. So it doesn't matter where you are at the start. It's where you are at the finish. It's going to matter. Going up the inside. Trying to force his way through. 8th place now currently. But he's going to lose a few positions on the running for this corner. Going up the left-hander. Got a bit out of sorts on the exit. He said because of the touch he took in the corner caused him to unsettle the car a bit and couldn't quite make the turn correctly. Left-hander now up the inside there. Trying to take a few positions. And doing okay so far. 9th place, 8th place now. Going up the outside and gaining another one. So 8th place. Not a bad start at all. Just catching a bit of barrier there. But he's okay. Right-hander. Holding the car nicely, did lose a position there. So the cars around him are very quick compared to him. He's got to make up time in the corners, which is where they're going to struggle. His car is nowhere near as quick as the really light cars. The problem is, he didn't want to go over on the smaller buggy cars because he was worried about if he was hit, he'd just be smashed to the side. He wanted something that could take a few hits and a few scrapes just in case, because he does find when the AI really wants to battle, they're willing to hit you for it. And he doesn't like being knocked into a barrier when it's not him doing it. So he wanted something a bit more robust, and he's done that, and that's absolutely fine. But it's now all important. He's got to try and get back in and do the job in the corners, as that's the only real way now of him having a chance of winning this race. Left-hander here, got a bit out of sorts, but does manage to take the next right-hander. 10th place currently, and he's doing okay. 9th place. We've always said we don't care where we come, as long as we get stamps, we finish the event and we don't have to go back. It doesn't matter where he finishes. It's all about experience, learning, and enjoying himself primarily. So 10th place currently. He does want to get higher than this come to finish. He doesn't want to finish in 10th. He's trying his best. There's a group of cars here that he can try and get up as well and see if he can take some positions there. But still 10th place. He's going to go through up the inside in between two a little bit there. Choosing the right hand side to take here, keeping as straight as possible through there up to 8th. Nice little overtake, but a little bit out of sorts here, just kind of braked a little bit too much, which is unusual for Wolverine. He doesn't normally like using the brakes that often, but currently in 8th place. There are 2 cars ahead of him, directly ahead. Turned very early for that corner, so let off the speed too early, turned, but he's managed to hold 8th, that's not too bad. He's trying to catch his 2 cars ahead to see if he can gain any other positions. And I think he is gaining a little bit. Left-hander here, braked really late, but held the car really nicely around there. 7th place now. Right-hander coming up. Got to get his braking point. It's only a little one. Left-hander. Nice little overtake around the outside there. And holds it well against the other car. Up to 6th place. And it's going to be a run for the line. The other cars are quicker. Can he hold on? Will it be 6th place? Come to finish. Let's see. Yes. I did wonder if the buggies would overtake him at that point. I was really worried, because they've got the downright speed, he was going to struggle. There were 2 other people who was in the Barger Beetle, and they really struggled at the back. Personally, fantastic result. 6th place, never something to be laughed at. I think he enjoyed the race, and a 6th place finish when he was battling all the way with a slower car. I think he did really well. I'm really happy, and so is he, and that's the important part. Now we are going to have a little bit of chatter before we continue the episode. It is part of the Donut Radio, and there's some interesting information for what's coming up. Have a listen.
We have some breaking news here on the Dirt Podcast by Donut Media, and not breaking news as in some sort of new brake pad that helps you stop in the rain, but news that is hot off of that panini press after the conclusion of the Dirt Showdown this weekend. We got Bruno Durant on the old dog and bone. That's British for phone. Bruno, good showing from that rookie, huh, man?
Caught my attention, yep.
Do you have an announcement to make?
Sure. Throwing down the gauntlet, main event, 1v1.
Yeah. So, I guess it's safe to say that you were impressed.
No, not really. Just want this conversation over. AJ's little experiment will get their race day, and they'll be gone the next day.
Wow. Okay, dude.
Wow.
That is an epic call out. Another first for this podcast. There's a lot on the line here, Bruno. I mean, maybe there's more on the line for you. Maybe you have a little bit more to lose. Maybe some pride.
He's got that belt.
Yeah, wrong again, James. There's only one possible outcome at this main event. It's just me trashing AJ's big shot.
Okay, actually, I'm not a math boy, but I think there are technically 2 possible outcomes.
I think he hung up
How long ago?
before you had your cool math boy line.
Dang, dude. All right. Well, you've heard it here first. The spiritual sequel to AJ vs. Durant coming your way. This is going to be wild.
The gauntlet has been thrown, and at some point we will deal with that. I think it's probably at the end of the story, to be fair. We're going to finish today with Fairytale of New York at Roosevelt Bridge Reverse, New York, for an icebreaker event. Soldierboy is back in the car as Wolverine hates these events. We're going to use the Subaru Impreza 54 Rally of the 90s Rally class. This car I've previously used on ice quite a bit, and this car is incredible on the ice. A decent start as well. We're going to go around a few cars that couldn't quite get the power down at the start, so already in 5th place. Up the outside there and inside, trying to squeeze between 2, that's never going to work well for us, is it? We do manage to take the 3rd place position there, and trying to catch these 2 cars that really got off the line at quite lightning at this point. Up to 2nd place though already. Right-hander. See the car we're trying to catch. If we can get past him, the hardest part I find in icebreaker events is the start. Once you've got through the pack, the race itself is easy. Especially if you've got clear track, because you've got a lot more room to manoeuvre and corners. As we're going to finish the 1st lap and start the 2nd already. It's a very quick short lap. And we're in 2nd place. We're going to go up the inside and we're going to take 1st place. Now, as I say, it is a lot easier to be away from other cars because you can go wrong and take the wrong line but still get a decent speed in and around the corner because you've got a lot more space to drift. And that's what I find with these ice races, the more room you have, the better. Right-hander nicely taken, left-hander again. You can see we're coming up towards the end of the 2nd lap, start of the last. The gap behind on the mini-map isn't that big. And we did make a slight mistake and saw the arrow catch up there. We'll see the gap here. And it is just under a 2nd. That's not a bad gap actually. I thought it would be a lot closer than that according to the mini-map. Just under a 2nd. Has a gap. Has come down a little bit. We're okay. Just got to keep concentrating on what we're doing. Taking these corners as best as possible, and we should have this in the bag, hopefully. Doing well now towards the end of the lap. Got the right-hander here, followed by the left-hander, and I think it's one more corner to come. It is this right-hander here before we finish off. Going a little bit slow in the corner, turned a little bit too early there, but we've got time, we're okay. And we are going to finish the race in 1st place to finish off the episode. 2 wins and a 6th place. Couldn't ask for anything better. A nice little win to finish us off. The Subaru Impreza, though, if you've got any ice races to do with the 90s rally class, Subaru Impreza is the car to have. I'm still looking forward to using this, an ice car, part of the DLC packs. We're looking forward to using that eventually. Haven't found a race which allows that to happen yet. We'll show it as soon as we can. There we go, leveling up to 43 as well. We're nearly maximum level. Now, we do have a little bit of chat from AJ. after this, before we finish off the episode. So have a listen to that, as it will continue on some of the story that's been going on. Decent amount of rewards and some new liveries as well. And now let's have a little listen to AJ.
It's time to take stock. Look at how far you've gotten since you joined. You go on, you take a second. You think about those wins. Think about those times that you won against the odds, the ones that didn't go your way, and how you never stayed down for long. That's the attitude people want to see. That's what inspires your fans, because you do all of it without any of the nonsense. So just keep that going, okay? Head down, work hard, be yourself.
So a little bit of inspiration there from AJ. He wanted us to do as well as possible. And I think in this episode we've done that. And that's finished already. If you are enjoying the series or watching Wolverine race, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episode does help as well. And we'll see you next time for more Dirt 5.